Hello and welcome to Daily Confidence for Entrepreneurs. In this episode, you will discover why every prospect has a smartphone and how to take advantage of it. What is a web app, and why relationships are the key to growing your business. Today, we're talking about using the smartphone as a digital branding toolbox, and my guest is Adam Bricker. Welcome, Adam.
Thanks, Mustafa. Thanks for having me on today.
Great to have you. Now, as usual, gang, if you're watching or listening, please make sure to like and subscribe to the show in whichever channel you're watching. If you have any questions, post them as a comment on the social media channel, and feel free to reach back to us with any questions or any topics you'd like to talk about with regards to what we're talking about here. And if you know other people who could benefit from this conversation, please either tag them in a comment and or share the link with them. Now, I know a lot of business, almost every business that I know and I've worked with has a follow-up problem. And through that, they are leaving a lot of money on the table. If you were interested in fixing your follow-up problem and tap into the money that you're leaving on table in multiple places in your business, I am sharing the checklist and the blueprint to simple retention formula, where I share the step-by-step process on how you could fix the follow-up problem and tap into the cash that you're leaving on the table, bringing your customers back and getting referrals. If you're interested in that checklist, type retention in a comment on whichever channel you're watching, and we'll send you the list via a direct message. Now, let me do the introduction to Adam, and then we're going to dive into a very interesting conversation. Adam Bricker is the CEO of the innovative marketing delivery firm called Adam Connects. He takes advantage of the simple fact that every prospect you're looking for has a smartphone, and they carry it with them every single day, and sometimes I think in their bed, and almost 24/7. Bricker has also innovated specialized programs like the Virtual Book Tour, Sales Booster, and the Masterclass to deliver more paying clients into the programs of his clients. Bottom line, Adam Connects puts your brand in the hands of your ideal client. Welcome, Adam.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here today.
Great to have you. So let's get started. Adam, what is your story?
So, Mustafa, a few years back, I was working in the fitness industry, and I was actually the fitness philosopher. And I used this tool that I had called a digital business card. And it was a nice company, had had an affiliate program. One day, I decided I didn't want to be in the fitness program anymore, and I was able to sell my business. Selling a business is one of the best things you can do, by the way. So I sold my business, and I just didn't know what I was going to do. Before I even canceled my digital business card, I got a call from the CEO. He was headed down to Florida, where I live. He asked me if he could meet with me when I was down there, and I even offered that he could stay at my condo on the beach. So while he was in Florida, I found out I was the number one affiliate in the entire company. I didn't know that. I just kept sending him more leads, and they took care of all of it. And they paid me a nice commission. I like affiliates. But before he left town, they offered me a position as the national sales director. So I became the sales director of a digital business card company 2 days after I sold my other firm. I had no idea what I was going to do next. No idea. And it came right to me. Then came along COVID. And COVID kind of tore that company apart. And the CEO left, the new CEO came in, and I wrote a plan on what we could do that would be even better than a digital business card. Because let's face it, business cards don't get you business. Other things, sales tools get you businesses. So I invented something called the Digital Branding Toolbox. And it sits on a smartphone, and it doesn't matter what you're using for digital branding. It goes in the toolbox. It could be Testimonials in here. Could be your podcast, goes in the toolbox. Could be a speaker one sheet, a sales magnet, whatever it is that you're using to grow your business goes in one spot. For robust businesses, it leads them to their website. And for newer businesses, it acts as the website. And my story is the same story I've been telling for 27 years. I help people do whatever they're doing better, more effectively, and at a higher level of profit than ever before.
Interesting. So how so this digital branding inbox, tell us more about what it is and how it works.
Yeah, so cool. So it's something called a web app. Now, most people are familiar with apps. You got to go to the store, you download them. They take up space on your phone. They slow your phone down. They're great. They update automatically, or you have to approve the updates. Web app's something different. Web app sits on the web. So every time you open it, the people are getting the most updated form ever. You can sit right on your home screen as an app. And the way the digital branding toolbox works is every marketing tool you have goes inside of it. So if you're a small business, it can function as your website. You don't have to go and spend thousands on a website. If you have a great website, you're doing a lot of business through your website, it's a way to drive traffic to the website. And if you're entrepreneurial like me and a lot of my clients who have multiple business interests and also businesses that we donate to, businesses that we are philanthropically involved with, it all goes in one spot. So if you get my digital branding toolbox, you can launch to all my different businesses with one click.
Love it. So you basically use it to drive traffic to your website, and then use it, I guess, to interact with people. And then and the beauty of it is like you don't have to update it. It's like a web app.
Yeah. So if you, as a business owner, if you update it, then all your clients, the next time they see it, have the most updated version.
You got it.
Yeah. And then I listened to the beginning of your show and you talked about follow-up. I have built into the digital branding toolbox an automated follow-up system. So it does the follow-up for you and you don't have to.
How does that work?
Well, we use text, SMS-based mobile messaging.
Uh-huh.
So we'll program in all the messages for an 8 or 13-week period. And then every week it shows up in your client's phone. You're always top of mind. The open rate's over 90%. Come on. It blows away email marketing. And when we're smart and we do it the way that people value, we give them golden nuggets to use on a weekly basis. Could be motivation, inspiration, education, anything along those lines. You're staying top of mind, and it always has a link back to your digital branding toolbox or to your event.
So you're using you're like maximizing the use of your phone, basically.
Well, you know what? The phone's already smart. We're just making the user smart too.
Love it. So you do the emails, you do the web app, and then you do the text messages to stay in touch with your customers, like with a 90% readability.
So I want to be clear. I don't do any emails. I don't do any email marketing. We don't. We work with a lot of different companies that do, because it still works on one level. But we do all of our automated updates via text messaging.
So do you ever people get complain about getting text messages from you?
There's nothing to complain about. If you don't want the text message, you hit the word stop and it stops.
Got it. So, okay. So you don't get them like replying back to you like, oh, I can't believe you're sending me messages, blah, 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 blah.
No. I want to make it clear. It's opt-in. It's an opt-in process.
Got it. So they opt in.
Yeah. There's we don't endorse spamming at all. So let's say a lot of my clients are speakers. And if I'm speaking on stage, I'm speaking here, I say, text the word Adam. And for me, that's ATOM. Text the word Adam to 855-476-4845. And if I'm on stage, I have it written, it's easy. I might have 70, 80, 100 people opt in 1 minute. It's that powerful and that quick. Those people, when they opt in, they're on an automated messaging system. Some of those people might not be interested in me after the conference, and they opt out. I'm okay if 80 people sign up and 12 opt out. I don't want to give anybody a message they don't want, but we're not going to spam them. We're sending we always send them more information.
Got it. So let's talk about some mechanics of that. How do you get people to opt in to say get your information or text messages and the rest of it from you?
Sure. There's a multitude of ways to do that. Number one, we have landing pages. So you just fill them in. You put your name, your email address, your phone number in, and you're opted in. Number two, we use a inbound text messaging. So text the word Adam to 855-476-4845. If you want, you can put it right down in the comments, and there'll be people who are opting in during the show, and they'll be able to have this digital branding toolbox right in their hand. Other ways is we send it. It has a URL, so we can send that via text or email to anybody. As a matter of fact, we're so big on referrals. Every digital branding toolbox has built into it a referral system. So let's say you're on John's card and you're like, oh my goodness, my brother needs to see this. You click a button that says share by text. It opens up your text messaging. You click your brother's name and send, and it sends the digital branding toolbox to his phone.
So you're giving them a referral tool, making it easy for them.
Right. And I just want to make it clear that when you send it to your brother's not opted in. He's not. You can share it, but because he hasn't seen it yet, it just shows up on his phone. Now, on his phone, when he's looking at the digital branding toolbox, he can decide to opt in if he wants to.
Okay, so I'm going to send this to my brother. What's the first message that the brother sees?
Everybody has a customized message. If it's from me, it says Adam Bricker, CEO, Adam Connects. Click here to visit the digital branding toolbox. And it'll really simple. There are 160 characters or less. We don't send giant text messages or tiny little snippets.
It doesn't say something like Mustafa wanted you to see this from Adam's company. Click here to see Adam's digital marketing book. Like
so
that kind of message.
We don't pre-write that in the message, but when it comes up on your text or your email, you can certainly add that, and it's going to come from your phone number. So they're going to know it came from you. They're editable, but I'm not going to try to do any kind of populating on who it came from. If you want to, you can add that in.
Got it. Now, do you know what percentage of visitors actually use that to give you referrals that way? Or examples of customers that are, getting, say, X% of like visitors or a number of visitors per month are doing this, like to give them referrals and to share like this awesome offer or awesome workshop and stuff with other people through that system you just talked about?
So I don't have a consistent percentage across the board. It really depends on the client. However, I can share this with you. If you ask for referrals, you get more.
Yes.
So the clients who are including in their campaign, asking people to share it, they have more people sharing it.
Got it. Yeah, absolutely. I run a business. Basically, our culture fixes the follow-up problem, and our agents are trained to ask for referrals on every call. So if you don't ask for them, chances are that you're not going to get as much. But like you said, if you do ask for them nicely, you're a lot more likely to get referrals. And, referrals are like the sweetest thing you could get in a business with a high converting rate and higher profits.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Follow-up inside and out, referral inside and out. I met you through a fellow named Michael Whitehouse.
Yeah.
And Michael Whitehouse teaches people how to network with the people they already know. That's what referrals are all about. So whether you're using my product or not, I can tell you with the highest level of confidence, if you ask for referrals, you'll get more.
100%. So who would be an ideal, but tell us about who you serve and what you do for them.
Got it. Well, we have a few divisions, so we serve different types of businesses. My favorite niche is the solopreneur who's making somewhere around $4,000 a month. We have a guaranteed program that gets them up to $4,000 a week. So we actually quadruple their money. That's number one. Number two, we serve authors. We have a program called the Virtual Book Tour, and we serve authors who have follow-up coaching programs and follow-up courses. So if you have a course or a program that go along with your book, we have a special setup designed especially for that. And then we work with some larger companies who have multiple people on their sales staff. So we have a way to template it out. So all their sales staff gets a digital branding card within the Toolbox. And the great thing about that is the ownership gets to retain all the data from the people who sign up for each of the individual cards.
Got it. So you're giving the follow-up tools to their team so they could start following up properly with their team, with their prospects and existing customers?
So what we do is we put the follow-up power in the hands of management. And then management can either manage their employees to do the follow-up or leave the employees to get fresh meat while they do the follow-up on the inside.
Love it. So what kind of difference and what kind of results do they experience when you implement this system?
For me, at the very beginning, people end up spending more time in their business until they have more money. Then once they get to the part where they have more money, they start to spend less time in their business. So what we give people is more clients, more referrals, more better follow-up. And the key to that is we also have a program called the Ultimate Sales Booster. And the reason we're able to guarantee results for some of our clients is we put them in a program called the Sales Booster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you cringe when you hear the word sales, but you need more money, you need more clients, you need more paying customers, then Sales Booster is the program for you.
Got it. So what happens inside the Sales Booster?
So we teach different aspects of sales. We help them to understand where they're strong, where they're weak, where they need more work. If you're not good at something and you spend more time doing it, that's stress. That's pain. That's frustration. That brings on what's that word when you're really tired all the time?
Frustrated, anxious, fatigue.
Okay. If you spend more time on things you're no good at, it doesn't increase your effectiveness.
Absolutely.
So what we do in Sales Booster is we bring in a variety of professionals. As a matter of fact, the person we're working with right now on sales strategy is Terry Levine. And Terry has a book called The Conversion Equation. So she teaches people a sales methodology. We have Brian McNeil coming on to teach people how to ask for the business. Do you believe some people are in business? They'll do a sales pitch, but never say, "Would you be willing to try my company?" And so, and basically, we're going to be sending a offer to you to come in and teach our clients about follow-up.
Would you be willing to try my company? Love it. That's a good question.
Right?
Would you be willing to try this service? So, at some point during your presentation, you go, how does that sound? Would you be willing to try this service and see how that works for you?
Yes.
And I think if you've done the right job and I've asked the right questions, you're talking to the right person, I'd be like, and if you have the right offer,
yeah,
they'd be we talked about when was it a few episodes ago, talked about creating an offer that they would feel stupid to say no to. Right? You have the right offer, you're in front of the right person, you've done the right presentation, you have the right questions.
And that's another thing we teach in Sales Boosters, how to create your own irresistible offer.
Love it.
There's an old saying in business. It says, you can be in business for yourself, but you don't have to be by yourself. That's what our Sales Booster community is all about.
Love it. Let's talk about offers. What are your some tips for people to create irresistible offers out there?
Oh, so not an expert in that area. I bring in experts to teach that, but I can tell you what I've learned. Okay.
Sure.
People buy what they want. They don't buy what they need. There's too many people go, my clients need this and this and this. As a matter of fact, last week we had that exact lesson with Terry Levine, and we reached out to our client base and our ideal client and said, if I could do one thing for your business, what would it be? And we were supposed to predict it. I said, they want more sales.
Mm-hmm.
Mustafa, out of 70 people responding, do you know how many people said they want more sales?
Tell me.
Zero. They want more clients. They want more members, but nobody said more sales. So in an irresistible offer, I don't talk about more sales anymore. I talk about more clients. I talk about more members. So when you know the language that your client speaks, and this is what Sales Booster teaches, you know how to communicate with them in a more effective way.
Love it. That was a good aha moment for me.
Cool.
So they want more clients, more members, maybe a bigger community.
Well, some of our clients have communities, so they want more members. And some of our clients have coaching programs and courses. They want more paying clients. Zero out of 72 gave the answer I predicted would be the most common.
0 on its sales. Wow, that was, gang, if you're watching or listening, that was a killer insight right there. Very interesting. So more paying clients, more members, but they don't necessarily want more sales. And that's something people have.
You want to go deeper on that?
Absolutely.
Half of my clients cringe at the word sales.
Yeah.
They don't want to do that. They want to do what they do best. In the world of corporate world, there's only a small portion of any company that does sales, because it's an art. It takes a personality to do that. And a lot of small businesses, a lot of solopreneurs are really good at what they do. They're just not really good at sales or marketing.
Yes.
They can tolerate marketing, but they like we mentioned before, they don't even ask for the business sometimes.
Yeah. Personally, I don't have a problem with sales or being being salesy. And here's my philosophy on that. And my philosophy is, if what I offer actually fixes a problem and helps people, I could be as salesy as it gets to actually do help them. Mm-hmm. Even if they hate me for it, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, you could hate me now, but when I fix your problem and the issue that you're experiencing right now, you could probably, thank me for it later. But up front, you could slap me and I'm okay with that. But I'll keep trying.
So I'd like to share with you my admiration for that positioning and how different that is for most of the people I work with. Do you know that most of the people I work with would prefer, or they're so caring, they're so driven to help, they give it away for free. Yeah. In the sales process, and like they do a consultation to see if I'm fit to work with you, they give away the answers. The people don't need to hire them. So we teach them where to stop, where to entice, and where to say, if you'd like to work, if you'd like the rest of that information, please hire us. You can do that easily. A lot of the people we work with do that easily, but also the majority of the people don't. It's a number one struggle. And I'd say it's the number one reason most businesses close within 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that people do not in the right way. And that's why the failure rate in businesses is like good 80, 90%.
Yeah.
And people go down. Interesting. So earlier we talked about relationships. And that's something that I'm big on. My entire business model is around relationships. Could you expand and tell us more about relationships and what you mean? Let's talk about what you mean by that first.
So there's business that's transactional. That would be going to a gas station and buying gas. You might not have a relationship with the guy there. If you go to a supermarket, you may or may not know the people, depending on if you go to the same one every single time. But if you're going to do business with me, we're going to have a relationship. I'm going to know what you're looking for. I have relationships with clients, with vendors, and with JV partners. And there is nothing as valuable as being connected heart to heart with another human being. And those relationships drive everything. Why do I have Brian Baird by my side to help people who can't get out of their own way to make a sale? Because I like those people, and Brian can help them get out of their own way. I learned from Henry Ford, even though I never met the man. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, the car magnate from the turn of the 20th century. They put him on trial. Saying that he was trying to trick the American public. It is famous. You know, when you're on top of the mountain, the haters show up and they try to knock you off. And they tried to say that Henry Ford wasn't smart enough to do what he was doing. And they asked him a series of questions, and he said something similar to what I said to you earlier today. I'm not an expert at that, but I have a relationship with somebody who is.
Absolutely.
If my clients need to be better at sales, quite frankly, I'm really, really good at closing deals. But I do it through my personality and my experience. I'm not duplicatable. I bring in sales experts who teach step-by-step strategies, so somebody who doesn't ever want to spend a lot of time in sales can spend 3 extra minutes in their presentation and walk away with a paying customer.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of people that are thinking about sales and they don't want to be salesy. And for what I've seen is when you tell them sales, I think they imagine just showing up to a sales meeting or showing up to people and start pitching from minute zero, right? And I start buy. But I think most successful salespeople, for what I've seen, they actually don't talk as much. They don't sell as much. They're always asking questions to basically, understand the person and have the person sell themselves. There was this program called Sell Without Selling. And I think that is probably the solution to most people's problems, that they don't want to be salesy. And what's your take on that?
Sell without selling. Absolutely. That's the way to do it. It's through relationships.
Absolutely.
Do you know how many people we sell a digital branding toolbox to who doesn't need one? Zero. Why would we do that? We're not in a desperation to move a digital branding toolbox to somebody who it's not going to benefit. Doesn't make any sense. So we start with the relationship. You nailed it. Questions. What do you need in your business? Why don't you have as much as you need?
Yeah.
Some people don't have enough leads. Some people have a ton of leads, but don't have follow-up. You know about that.
Yeah.
Some people don't ask for the business. So wherever their weakness is in the calibration of the evaluation, if we can fill the hole, we do. If we can't, we'll recommend one of our partners that we have a relationship with.
Absolutely. Yeah. So like the question of, even for the sell, you don't have to say something like, you got to buy this now, and if you don't buy, you're gonna die, and whatever. We could say, hey, ask them other questions, like say, where are you at? What is a challenge? Is it something you want to fix? Yes. Well, would you like to try our solution? Like you said, would you like to give this a shot? And if they say no, I don't want it, you don't have to push them and be all pushy. If they don't want it, they don't want it. If they want it, great.
Well, I'm solutions driven.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm solutions driven. And when I ask for the business, it might sound like you say you want more leads, and you say you want to be able to close more sales, and you want to be more effective. The Digital Branding Toolbox does all three of those. We can get you started right away. Would you like to start today? And then their personality comes in. Then whatever their doubts and fears are come in. Some people are scared to buy something. Some people are actually scared to do well in their business. So that's why we have the support staff to cover everything else that they might encounter as they go through the process. Do we work with people who have personal assistants? We work with people who have teams of people that if we increase your sales by 400%, you're going to need some help.
Yeah.
You're going to need some help. So we have those resources available as well.
So what kind of help would they need when you go, 4xing their sales, going from $4,000 a month to $4,000 a week?
Yeah. So usually they need an assistant. They need somebody who can manage their clients, somebody who can manage their social media. Those are the easiest things to plug in because there's people available that are way better than that business owner at doing those things. If they're not really tight on keeping their books, then they're going to need a bookkeeper pretty quickly. Okay. If they're now going to the $4,000 a week model, they may want to have a philanthropic portion of their business that gives some money back so that they can help their community, support the people around them, and get some tax incentives in the process as well. So those are three examples of what they might need.
Absolutely. How do you help someone overcome the resistance to hire somebody?
We introduce them to one of our relationship people. We introduce them to a partner, and we typically put them in group scenarios. So they'll be in a group with people who can say, I felt the same way too. I didn't want to hire somebody. I felt like it would cost me more time to hire somebody, and I could do it better on my own. That's the number one thing, by the way. It takes me twice as long to teach somebody how to do it as me doing it alone, because they've never taught anybody, and that person, who knows what their starting skills are. However, that's short-sighted, because if you do that for 1 month, within the course of a year, you have 11 more months where that's all off your plate, and that 1 month that you invested in that person's paying off.
Absolutely. Yeah, working with the group environment and seeing examples of other people who are doing the same thing and have gone through it, and that makes it easier for people to make decisions. And
Well, group environments, we love this. I mean, we sponsor an entire platform for communities called Empowered Life, and that's where Sales Booster lives. And we work with them all the time, because if whoever's listening today, they don't get to ask the questions. You're asking the questions, and you're doing a great job of that. But you know the questions to ask. Okay. When you're running a business, it's very rare that what somebody's doing needs to be changed. It's what they're not doing that needs to be added, and it's what they don't know to do that needs to be added into the mix. And by being in a group setting, you get to hear other people ask questions that reveal what you don't know that you don't know, especially if they're 2, 3, or 4 steps ahead of you.
Absolutely. That's one thing that I love doing, group workshops and masterminds, especially when there is live hot seat session where someone shows up and says, hey, I have this problem, and a coach or other people actually jump in and start helping and sharing ideas. And through that process, people usually learn a ton
Yes.
of, I have a similar problem, I have a similar issue, and then uh, I absolutely love and respect the people that do jump up on a hot seat, and the process of learning from other people's mistakes. And um,
I love that you said that, because life is too short to make all the mistakes on your own.
absolutely, and I don't have enough time
No.
and resources to try to discover and figure everything out on my own. It's like smart people actually reach out and get help and assistance. Like you said,
Yeah.
Henry Ford is like, I'm not the expert in everything, but I have a team of people that are experts, and I've got the relationships to do it.
And that's the key to building and living beyond your means, for sure.
Love it. Adam, could you please tell us about your gift, the Faster Class?
Okay, so my background is radio and television. And I love that today people can have podcasts, you can have your own show. I had my own radio show 15 years ago, and now it's pretty common. So the Faster Class, what's really, really awesome about that is it's a master class that teaches people how to be better at their business. I imagine that I'd make a few dozen of these videos teaching the golden nuggets that I have, give them away to free to my audience. And, say if you want more, you can contact me. So 2 minutes, one golden nugget that dramatically increases sales of your company. But once I started publishing it, my clients, my relationships is, Adam, I want to share my nugget. I want to share mine. Now we have 20 episodes out, and I'm only in 3 of them. It's shocking me. So if you're a listener of Mustafa's and you want to have a couple really great, insightful golden nuggets that'll help you with your business, tune into the Faster Class.
Absolutely. And I think I owe you an episode on that.
By all means, send one in. And I'm going to open that up to your audience as well. If you're really great in business, at least in one area, and something that you want to share with somebody, I'm open. There's a little form. You fill it out on the page. You say you want to create your own Faster Class, and we'll certainly entertain that.
Love it. So, gang, if you wanted to tap into Adam's Faster Class, the link is in the comments of the show, and it's actually in the description of the show as well. And if you're watching it listening to our podcast, the link on the podcast will take you to the Faster Class, and you could participate to Adam's what you might call it, Faster Class. And
it's the Faster Class Masterclass.
Faster Class Masterclass. I like the rhyme there. Faster Class Masterclass. I read about rhyming not too long ago, and I'm not good at it. So, do you know someone that can help me put a rhyme into my offer?
Maybe I have a rhyme in my offer.
Yeah, you do.
It says, we put your brand in the hand of your ideal client.
Your brand in the hand of the ideal client. All right. Maybe I should just chat with you more.
There you go. I do have a degree from the College of Journalism.
All right. Maybe I'll hang out with you more after the show, or maybe later. Now, let me ask you a couple of personal questions, and is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Cool. So, Adam, what's a new thing you've tried recently?
New thing I tried recently. Well, I'm a beach person, and I was a bachelor living on the beach in Fort Lauderdale for quite a number of years. And during COVID, I got married, and I am in Canada with my wife.
Oh, wow.
So I tried a new country on.
New country.
It's very interesting to learn different cultures.
Yes. And whereabout are you in Canada?
I'm in a town called Ottawa, capital of Canada.
Is it a lot different compared to Fort Lauderdale, Florida?
Yes. The culture, the people, the pace, the economy, much different than Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
What is the difference? Like, what have you noticed from our
So,
fellow
so
Canadian people?
Fort Lauderdale is a high-paced, high-action, tropical-oriented. So there's a lot of boating, there's a lot of beaching and stuff. And Ottawa, being the capital of Canada, is a lot of commerce. It's much slower pace. The people are much more polite,
Yeah,
and they're nicer, and they're much slower.
that's us Canadians. We're not, we're polite.
Absolutely.
Love it. Love it. So, what are your top favorite books of all time? Top 2 or 3?
Okay. So I'm going to start with Not Born This Way.
Not Born This Way.
Not Born This Way. You can get that through a virtual book tour. Not Born This Way is written by Sarah Weiss. That's my wife, and that's her story of being born in the wrong body. Very
Yeah.
interesting book. My number 2 book, Rhinoceros Success, Scott Alexander. Have you read Rhinoceros Success?
No, I have not.
It allows me to go through life with 2-inch thick skin and not let things that people do bother me. And then
Fantastic.
the last one is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Our mastermind's been through that book 17 times. Every time it's a new experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, what's one advice that made a massive impact in your life or business?
One piece of advice that made a say it again.
Massive impact in your life or business.
Okay. It was a quote from James Michener that talks about winning the art of living. You can't tell if I'm working or I'm playing because I'm always doing both. I'm not going to be somebody who overworks himself. I could be somebody who overplays. But the art of living, some people say that we're a spiritual being having a human experience. And I believe that. But since you're having a human experience, you might as well enjoy your time. Because as
100%.
Jim Rome says, it doesn't matter how long it is, it's short.
Absolutely. And it's like, as you grow older, the years seem to get shorter every year. Like, the year goes by so fast.
I study time and time relations, and you're right. There are different things about time. Just like when you're doing something good, time seems to pass faster.
Yeah.
If you're doing something, it actually time bends, swells, and decreases. So it's part of the human experience.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, when you're younger, the year seems to be longer, especially like you said, when you're out of time or when you're enjoying it, it goes by real quick.
Yeah. Well,
But if you're in a prison, it
I
doesn't go.
have a 6-year-old. A year for her right now is 12% of her entire life.
100%.
You know,
The
I'm
year goes
50
by.
years old. It's less than 5% is of a year. So it goes. It seems to
100%.
go by faster.
Absolutely. Adam, if you had a Facebook or a Google ad where everyone on the web around the world could see, what would your message be for the people of Earth?
For the people of Earth?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What would my message be? It's going to use the same message that I use in my business, and it is feed the children. Feed the children. And for me, feed is an acronym. It's food, education, empowerment, and direction. And you'll see really consistently all my clients do at least one of those. When I'm interviewing people and I have somebody who does all 4, I sign them up every time because they're on my mission to feed the children.
Love it. That was really powerful.
Thank
So
you.
feed the children, feed standing for food, education, empowerment, and direction.
Yes.
That is really nice. Food, education, empowerment, and direction. I was talking to a friend about the education piece for our children, and my personal philosophy on that is I am not so focused on educating my kids. I'm more about educating myself, because my kids, whether they want it or not, they're going to become a version of me, and they're going to learn from me, whether they want it or like it or not. So I'm more focused on, because I see a lot of parents that are like trying and pushing to teach their children things that they don't do themselves. And I'm like, and as psychologically, you become 80 or 90% similar to your parents. And based on, I was like, you know what? I've decided to not push and try to educate my children so much, but focus more on myself on that. What's your
And
take on that?
yeah, working with your kids, you get to see areas where you lack education, you lack experience. So that's kind of, that's really interesting. I love the learning process of children. I now know that we plant messages in their subconscious based on how we treat them. So we just tell our children all the time they're wonderful, they're beautiful, they're happy, they're smart, they're brilliant, and they're nice. And they end up being smart, happy, brilliant, nice. Yes, support them with all they do. And a man with 6 children once told me, Adam, the more rules I have for my kids, the more time I'm punishing my children. So less rules seems to be better.
Yeah, I like I don't like to be too strict with children. Don't touch this. Don't do that. Don't talk this. Like that doesn't work. Usually when I try that, my kids, I have a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them, they're like, screw you, dad. We're not doing
Yeah.
that.
Just love on them. Love on them.
Absolutely.
We want our children to be responsible and mature before it's time for them to be responsible and sure.
100%. Like, and every time they do something that they're not supposed to do, when I'm calm and patient and loving and empowering, I'm like, look, you really can't do that. For at first, especially the 2-year-old. The older one understands more, but the 2-year-old first is like, but I want to do it, but I don't want it. Blah 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 blah. But then when I wait, I'm like, son, you cannot do that. And then eventually he's like, okay, I'm not gonna do it. But if I start butting heads with him, like I'm sure like a 2-year-old, they don't give up, right? They're just like, no, it's my way. There's no highway option.
Yeah. And you have the distinct advantage of being able to reach over and pick them up. So the
Yep.
feet are just, all right, I'm in full control right now. And just love on your children all you can. They're only going to be a child for a short period of time. But the inner child always exists. And I want to make it clear, feed the children. That's food, education, empowerment, and direction for children of all ages.
That's beautiful. I absolutely love that. Um, Adam, this has been an absolutely amazing conversation. You dropped a lot of value. Thank you very much. Is there anything that you would like to mention that we didn't get a chance to talk about?
There's one thing that I've been exploring for 2.5 years now. It's been financially rewarding, and it's cryptocurrency. I'm not giving anybody any advice on cryptocurrency other than explore. Get your knowledge. When you were learning about money and you were learning about finances, it did not include the conversation of cryptocurrencies. Be careful of the quick start scams that are out there, but you deserve to know why decentralized currencies has a place in the world today.
Yep, it looks like the world is moving in that direction. It doesn't seem like it's going away anytime soon.
Some
And
will, some won't. We accept Bitcoin, Ethereum, and about 14 other currencies at Adam Connects because we believe in it, and we have people with relationships that help us to implement a system that works for us.
love it. Thank you, Adam. Gang, if you're watching or listening, make sure to go to the link in the descriptions or the comments in the show and get access to Adam's masterclass And if you or someone you know that runs a business that does about 4K a month and wants to quadruple their sales and go to 4K a week, do reach out to Adam and have a conversation with him and see how him and his tribe can help you, grow and scale your business and quadruple your sales. And if you would like to fix your follow-up problem that most likely you have with your sales and with your funnel, and nurture the list that you have, so tap into the money that you're leaving on the table, type in the word retention in the comments on the show, and we'll send you the checklist to help you fix that problem. Adam, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. And we'll see you, gang, next week with our next episode. Have yourself a great day. And as usual, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, put them in a comment or send it over to us and we'll get back to you. Bye now.